while since I've been able to get a video up, but today I'm taking part in a fun video hop to celebrate some new goodies coming from 𝐆𝐈 Embossing Powder. I am creating 2 cards with one of the easiest techniques to use with heat embossing, but always makes your cards look stunning. I'm Verity and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog Pretty Little Button, where I make paper crafting tutorials for the everyday crafter. So as I said, this is to celebrate some new products being released from 𝐆𝐈 Embossing Powder. I will give full details on the giveaway later on in the video. So here we have one of the new stamps that are being released from 𝐆𝐈 Embossing Powder. This is the Folk Art Snowflake stamp, which I designed for 𝐆𝐈 Embossing Powder. I am going to stamp this in the 𝐆𝐈 Clear Ultra Slow Drying Embossing ink onto a piece of blue cardstock. This is blue denim from 𝐵𝐺𝐾𝐘 Designs. I'll have a list of what I used over on the blog if you're interested in the cardstock. I'm then covering this with my favourite 𝐆𝐈 Metallic Gold Rich. I have this in a big jar because I use it all the time, so having it in a big jar like that's great for when you want to pour it over your stamp design. I am then heat embossing it with my 𝐆𝐈 Dual Speed heat embossing gun, and I'm using the heat setting 2. And of course, I'm leaving this on normal speed because watching metallic gold embossing powder melt on a beautiful dark cardstock like this, just how it shines and it changes and transforms as it melts, really shows off that beautiful embossing powder. I've used it in Superfine because it really ensures that you get all that lovely detail that you'll see in the snowflakes in the stamp design coming through on that embossing powder, and it doesn't lose any of that definition. Now I stamped this on this colour cardstock twice, and then I also stamped it on a pale cardstock, powder blue cardstock from 𝐵𝐺𝐾𝐘 Designs. This time when I heat embossed it in my opaque bright white Superfine embossing powder as I create 2 cards with similar look. So I'm using my water media mat from Waffle Flower just to hold the cardstock in place because I'm going to do some emboss resist. Now I have sped it up, I cannot ink blend this quickly, but what I'm going to be doing is creating a slimline card. So I am going to be creating a bit more of a gradient ombre look with the ink blending. The first colour I'm going in with is Cove Blue, and this is a lovely muted dark blue that blends beautifully into the cardstock panel that we've used. And then I'm going in with Juniper Mist, and I'm creating one cardstock panel that's very dark at the bottom, and then I'm allowing that to fade out into the cardstock with the Cove Blue. And then the other panel I'm going from Cove Blue to Juniper Mist, and then I'm blending that into Blackjack. So I'm just darkening it up at the bottom. And this is because I wanted to create a sort of night sky, and that these snowflakes were falling down on a beautifully rich and dark night sky. So as I position the 2 panels together, you can see that ombre gradient look. For the second card, as I said, I'm using a soft blue card panel with the white embossing. And this time I'm going round with Stone Blue ink from Catherine Pooler, blending this out but leaving the middle still the cardstock, giving like a soft halo look. I'm then darkening this up by just adding some Juniper Mist towards the edge, and this just adds a little bit of drama and intensity. Now of course with embossing resist, the embossing powder does resist the ink, but I go over with a cloth just to wipe the ink off the embossing powder and just to brighten that embossing back up to its beautiful colour. Especially noticeable when you're using a white embossing powder like this, you want to clean the ink off to maintain that white embossing coming through. As part of the video hop, there is a gift card up to grabs, either worth £25 or $25. In order for your chance to win, you need to leave a comment on each of the video hops, letting us know what's your favourite thing from the new release. Make sure you leave the comments by the 29th of October, and we'd also love it if you could subscribe to our channels, hit that bell icon and be notified when the next video is up. The winners will be chosen randomly and announced on 𝐆𝐈 Embossing Powder's blog and Instagram on the 31st of October. There is also an Instagram hop going on where there's another chance to win a gift card, so make sure you head over to Instagram to see some more inspiration. So as you can see, I'm just cleaning that up, and we have now got a lovely, soft, beautiful halo in the middle of the card, and that blends around. Now I'm just adding some double-sided tape to a slimline card base and adding the 2 panels that I did with the gold embossing powder on top of this. I've trimmed the panel down so it hasn't got any border, and then I'm just positioning this on. Now obviously the 2 card panels are longer than the actual card base, I'm going to adhere it on and then trim it down. Now don't worry that there's going to be a line between the two panels because I'm going to hide that so you won't notice that join. Once the two card panels are correctly assembled, I'm then going to add the sentiments. Now, I am using some of the Christmas sentiments that were designed and released as part of the release previously. This was in July. And I am using It's the Season sentiments, and I believe I use the Christmas sentiments. There's also Merry sentiments and Joy sentiments. All of these are still available in the shop as well. What I like to do is I like to take these stamps off the packaging and place them onto the card panels and have a play about with their layout first to see whether I think it looks right and whether I'm happy with the layout or whether I need to swap up and use a different sentiment. Once I know those positions, I can then stamp them. And I was stamping these in a selection of Catherine Pooler inks that I have used to do the ink blending. So these were Cove Blue and Juniper Mist. Once these were stamped, I trimmed them down and added them to the card base. And for the one on the right, I did fussy cut the script sentiment It's the Season out just with a pair of scissors. I really don't mind fussy cutting, so I haven't got a problem with doing that. As I said, I stamped the Happy Christmas on a piece of white card and I overlaid that where the two panels joined, hiding that card join so nobody would know that it isn't one whole panel that we created. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you check out the description box below for links to any of the products used in today's video. They are affiliate links at no extra cost to you. Until next time, happy crafting!